Happy Wednesday, guys. Today I have a sketchbook spread video for you, and that means if you guys are able and are in the mindset to do so, I would highly recommend taking out your sketchbooks, getting that favorite pen or pencil, whatever you like to create with, and let's get some sketches done. So the first sketch I'm doing is of an outfit I saw on Pinterest. My intention was to make this whole spread different outfits. That didn't end up happening. I ended up drawing random things that I felt like drawing, and that's totally fine if that's what you want to do. This outfit was actually on a much thinner woman, but I don't know. When I was searching up references, I really wanted to do like a mid-size woman because I feel like drawing all these thin women is sometimes, it's just not good for self-image, as well as promoting other people to think that only one type of body is beautiful. And that's something I still struggle with. I don't want to continue that narrative that society has given us by basically saying that only really thin women are attractive. That's why I ended up modifying the reference a little bit. So my drawing is not as thin as the woman in the picture, which is fine. And there's nothing wrong with her body. There's nothing wrong with the body I ended up drawing. It was just what I felt like doing because I feel like most of the outfits I see on Pinterest are usually on thinner bodies, and I just wanted to do something different, but I still wanted a cute outfit to draw. Now, unfortunately, I can't share the references with you because I forgot to save them to a Pinterest board on Pinterest so that I could share the link with you guys and you can draw along if you want. Because of that, I have no board to give you guys. And basically all these pins, for me to try to find them, there was no specific search that I used. They were mostly on my homepage, except for, I think, the picture of Queen Elizabeth, which I do a sketch of her, I guess kind of in her honor, but I don't really see myself as, someone who's, I guess, making that's important enough to make a tribute, but I never met her. I did not know her personally. I don't even live in England, but I am a quarter English, and I also am an eighth Irish and an eighth Scottish. So my grandparents on my mother's side were fans of hers, especially my grandmother. They were kind of sad about her passing. At least I know my grandmother was, because she said that she always kind of reminded her of my great grandma, her mother. And I can kind of see it. I mean, I've seen pictures of my great grandma and they definitely look similar. So I can understand why she's a bit upset, because even my grandmother wasn't born in England. I believe her mother was. I don't know if her father was, but her family was originally from England, whereas my grandfather on my mom's side of the family is half Irish and half Scottish. So he came over during his younger years, and that met my grandmother, and that's how they ended up together. The royal family has always been something I was kind of interested in. I always loved going to England, and I talk like I've been multiple times. Oh no, I have been multiple times. I've been twice. I've been to England twice, and I loved it both times. Would love to go again. And it was funny, no hate to the people in France or Paris or any of that, but the first time I went to England, it was part of a trip to go to Paris. I had been begging my father to take me to Paris, I want to say most of my childhood, and he finally did when I was about, I want to say 12 or 13, which I'm kind of glad he waited because I don't think I would have appreciated it as much. I probably would even appreciate it more now, but even like then it was just a beautiful place. And as much as I loved Paris, England was not the part of the, I guess, trip that I was really excited for, but it ended up being my favorite part. So I love London, I loved Oxford, and I did get the fortunate opportunity to go again, and my uncle took me on my mom's side, and I got to see London again, which was amazing. There's not many people out there that can say that, except for probably people who live in Europe or in London. But her passing was upsetting to me just because, I don't know, it was a constant in my life. And I feel like my life changes so much, especially in recent years. So to have that constant, like I know she's mortal and she's not gonna live forever, but I guess like a part of me kind of believes she would. You know, I don't know much about the political situation over there. I don't know how beloved she was. I mean, I'm seeing stuff on the news and I'm assuming, you know, her subjects liked her. So there seems to be a big an outpouring of love and empathy towards the royal family. From a completely non-political standpoint, I just think she's seen and done so much in her life that it's something to marvel at. To think she became queen at such a young age. And I know they don't have a lot of power, the monarchy over there doesn't have a lot of power, but that's still to be a figurehead, even if only in name, and to have all these eyes on you constantly watching you, more so than they were before at such a young age. Like I can't imagine that. So I have to give her a lot of respect in that regard. And I'm sorry, but if she loves dogs, I have to like her a little bit. I have to give her some points, you know? So I did want to draw something for her, and you know, I ended up doing that. But that crown, man, the crown she was wearing in that reference photo, that was really hard to draw. You'll see, I struggle with it quite a bit. But getting back to this drawing that I'm currently doing, this drawing probably took me the longest, with Queen Elizabeth's sketch being, I would say, the second longest. And it probably wouldn't have been that long because most of it was just me pausing and looking at the crown and then trying to mimic what I saw, and it is not an exact replica. But this sketch, this first one, ended up being the longest. It took me about, I want to say, close to an hour to do, just because I wanted to try my hand at all the folding. And I mean, I could have glossed over quite a bit of it, and it's not perfect, it's not exact, but I think one of my areas of weakness is definitely clothing and clothing folds, and it's mostly because I don't understand how it works. So that's why I'm practicing it, but I still don't understand how it works. So I definitely have to study it, but also do a course or two, maybe through New Masters Academy, about folds, so I can because I want to understand why, you know, it does this, like this is where the shadow is, and why this folds here, and on a body, why does that look like that? Whereas here I'm just kind of copying what I see, and I'm not really registering why it is the way it is, if that makes sense. This is the one and only area, well, probably not, but one of the few areas I actually want to know why something is the way it is. I hated that in math class, but in art, I need to know. We did lose some footage here, if that wasn't obvious, but I did want to draw a house. Obviously, it's all freehanded, so none of these lines are straight. None of them are sketchy in the sense that it's just line, 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 line. But yeah, I'm sorry I lost that footage. I clicked pause and I clicked stop on my phone to look up a picture for it, and it ended up not clicking play or record, I should say, when I started the drawing. And then I realized at some point, I don't know what triggered me to realize, but I hadn't clicked play, or record rather. So this was a house that I saw on Pinterest. Again, don't have a link to it, didn't add it to a board, unfortunately. I think this is my first time drawing a house in a sketchbook. I don't usually draw houses, but I was just, I don't know, maybe it was because I was watching Joanna Gaines this past week. I just really wanted to draw a house, and I kind of liked this style that this house was in. I thought it was really cute. I liked the hedges and the bushes, as well as the, you'll see the windows with the shutters. So it was a fun drawing for me, and even though I didn't use a straight edge, I think it still came out pretty good for someone who was drawing completely without any assistance besides a reference photo. So you'll also notice too, each drawing I do is a different color pencil, just because I wanted a colorful spread, and I think you'll see by the end that it is pretty colorful, which I am happy with. And you'll also see I end up doing 4 sketches total, so this is 2 out of 4. And I'm trying to finish the sketchbook. I don't know if it's gonna happen. I've been feeling pretty burnt out lately, mostly because of work, and then having to, basically I work from 9 a.m. to sometimes 6 or 7 p.m. at night, and then I have to sit and usually edit a video and get it prepped for you guys to post. Sundays I spend filming, and Saturdays I'm supposed to be using towards cleaning and things like that, but I haven't been the last couple Saturdays because I've just been too burnt out. So it's very important, I think, that I start trying to make more time for me to relax, because then I don't feel like doing things if I don't put that into my schedule. And I did miss this saying this, but we did lose some footage again with the shoe, because it was the same exact reason as the house. I basically stopped recording to find a reference photo, saw these shoes, loved them, didn't press record, and started drawing. And then at some point down the line I realized, oh my goodness, I did not record. So I do apologize for that. I have to get better about that. I'm also saving up for a camera, so hopefully that'll help, instead of having to use my phone all the time, because sometimes, I don't know, it has its challenges. It definitely has its challenges. The other thing about my sketchbook, I did want to do a whole spread. The last couple ones I think have only been a singular page. As you can see, I am nowhere near the halfway point, so I'm going to have to dedicate some time to actually filling this thing up. I'm thinking of doing some of those studies, which if you guys didn't see my video about 5 exercises you should do if you haven't drawn in a while, which I'll link above and down below, I go over this exercise. It's with lineofaction.com. And basically, I mean, you can watch the video. I talk about it in more detail. I can quickly fill up a few pages with that. And I'm also thinking I'm going to use quite a few pages to prep for the October art challenge I decided to do, which you guys are getting a video about all the ones that caught my eye this coming Saturday. So look forward to that. So yeah, I'm just trying to fill this page as best that I can. I hope you can't hear the toilet just flush because that's my step grandmother going to the bathroom. I do apologize if you can hear the toilet flush. If not, then we're good. So here I am, I'm just finishing up this last shoe, and then as you can guess, the next drawing, which is the fourth and final drawing that I do in this video, is for the lovely late queen. And if you've made it this far, I really do appreciate it. I know it's mostly just me rambling, but I do like to, I don't know, I feel like it helps you guys kind of get to know me. And obviously I want to get to know you guys. So, you know, if you want to just tell me a random fact down in the comments, that would be great. Or maybe tell me if you've come up with what you're gonna do for October, if you're gonna do an art challenge in October. How do you feel about the queen's death? You know, whatever you want to talk about, because I don't mind speaking to people in the comments. I try to respond as quickly as I can. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, and if you ring that bell, it will notify you every single time I post a video. And I do post every Wednesday and Saturday, so there will be another video this Saturday. I really would appreciate, you know, you guys joining the community. It's been growing, and that makes me excited because that means there's more of you and I'm not just talking to, I guess, no one. Back to the drawing. We are starting with Queen Elizabeth. Her nose I did not get right the first, like that profile is not correct. And see here, I fix her nose a little bit. I noticed it was a little bit off, and I will go back and erase the line underneath. I was watching Night at the Museum while I was sketching, just because, I don't know, sometimes I want to listen to music, but I feel like sometimes I just want to watch a movie while I'm working, although I wasn't technically watching, I was half listening. And I watched the first film and the second film, and they're both, I hate that series ended. I loved those movies. I feel like all of them were good. I mean, the third probably wasn't as good as the first or second, but I still liked it. And I don't know how they would have added a fourth movie, like what the plot would be, but I don't know, I'd watch a fourth movie even if it sucked. I just loved the whole premise, but it would be really hard to do, I guess, without, I don't know, I'd be really sad to not have Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah, that would be kind of sad now that I think about it, but you know, that was the last, I think the third Night at the Museum was the last film he did, I believe. So, and I watched that movie tonight actually while I was editing this, and it was a good series. Had many laughs with it. It's something my brother and I watch a lot, and we can quote certain lines. Can remember lines but can never remember stuff for school. Growing up, he and I were all like, we could recite lines. We could probably recite all of Yzma's and Kronk's lines from The Emperor's New Groove. I kid you not. That's how well we know that movie. And it was just something we bonded over. But now I'm kind of sad I finished the series because I probably won't be watching it for a while. Ben Stiller's hilarious. Loved all three movies. Love Robin Williams as Teddy. And I guess it just makes me sad that if they were to do a fourth movie, which I don't know that they would, no Teddy Roosevelt, at least not Robin Williams as Teddy Roosevelt. And that got really sad really quickly. I am sorry. I guess like I'm recording this voiceover at almost, yeah, it is 11 o'clock at night, the day before this goes live. And I don't know, I guess I get kind of melancholy at night. I don't know, but it's just been, I guess, a rough couple days, health issues and stuff, but we're getting through it. Soon this video will be done. I don't have to edit it anymore. I enjoy editing the videos, but I don't know, I guess even that I get tired of sometimes, and it's late, so I'm sleepy. And here I am struggling with that crown. I started improvising, I think, at about this point, because I was just done. I was done trying to do that crown, because like as soon as my eyes seemed to get the trick of it, I'd look back at it and I was like, I don't even know where I am on this crown. And to avoid doing it, I started doing the hair in more detail. I mean, it's kind of funny because eventually I still have to do it. I still have to do that crown, but I know I can't be the only one that does this. Let me know if you do it too, or you just do other parts of the drawing to avoid the part you already started working on, because I definitely do this a lot. I'm really happy with how that Queen Elizabeth drawing came out, that I might, if I ever have time, do a digital drawing or maybe even a painting of her. But she's a beautiful woman. I don't care what anyone says. She's a gorgeous woman. Even, you know, I mean, even when she got older, she was still beautiful. And I don't know, I always thought she was I loved her humor. Her humor's hilarious. She had, there were a couple videos on TikTok that I saw that were just like funny things she had said or done, and her humor is just so dry. It's great. So definitely miss her, even though I didn't know her personally. But I don't know, I guess it feels weird not having her as queen. It's gonna take a while for me to get used to the fact that Charles is king. But life moves on, doesn't it? And you'll also see at the end, I do end up putting a quote that I found that I liked, something she had said. I don't know at what point in her life, but I do end up putting it below her just to kind of fill that space at the bottom because it was bothering me. I was gonna draw her dress because she was wearing a dress in the reference photo, but I just didn't feel like it at this point. That crown had basically zapped any will to continue drawing. I was done for that night after that crown. Oh, I just realized if I do a finished piece, like take that sketch and make it into a finished piece, I have to draw the crown again. I might not do it. No, I'm kidding. I'm still really pleased with that sketch, so it might become a finished piece. But yeah, I just didn't want to draw the dress, so I ended up putting a quote. And I don't even think this is a quote that, I mean, it's not profound. It was just something that kind of resonated with me. She had said another quote, something else that really hit home for me, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Like I searched up Queen Elizabeth quotes and I couldn't find it. but I found this one and ended up going with it because to me it still was something that meant something to me. She's, as I said, she's lived a lot of life. So she's seen a lot, you know. She lived through World War II. She got married during World War II. And, you know, all the other wars of the late 1900s, and then COVID and all the other things that, like, this world, and then all the good things too. I mean, Berlin Wall went down, things like that. It has always been easy to hate and destroy. To build and to cherish is much more difficult. And I believe that wholeheartedly. And we are nearing the end of this video. So I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope maybe you got some drawings done. And have a nice day.